What's up, Samurai? We are back here some more. We got the Trove event. We got the Trove event. I don't know what's going on with me. Please help. So we've got the Snowfest 2023 event. You guys will want to hop on and grind this event out because these are actually the best boxes that you can get out of any event in Trove out of the whole year. Another thing that I wanted to mention in passing is a lot of you have been constantly hounding me and asking me about this Shadow Hunter costume. So if you didn't catch my YouTube post on the community tab like a week or two ago, they've been doing this weird thing in Trove where they're basically adding different store packs to the game every day, almost like an event calendar counting towards Christmas, right? And for whatever god-awful reason, the pack that includes this costume was in those daily shop items. So it was literally just there for a day and it's gone already. Better luck next year. Anyways, let's get right into the event itself. So first and foremost, it wants you to meet up with Elvsley, which is going to be a Cubesley character that's sitting right here. It's basically this guy, but he's standing right there. You just go and press E on him. There you go, all done. Then it wants you to craft a gift giver's standard. Almost all of these, by the way, I might say otherwise, but they're all pretty much going to give you a Snowfest 2023 token, which we'll get into what those are used for later. Anyways, this is going to end up being the gift giver standard. Something I wanted to mention in passing is that these glacial shards, apparently these were broken day one. So that's why this event guide video is coming out a day late. Yeah, it's not because my sleep schedule has been messed up at all. Apparently you would use all of these items, but it wouldn't give you the shards. So hopefully you guys didn't get too screwed on that one. But either way, you need this in order to see new enemy or get new enemies to spawn like presents or something, because the next part is to unwrap a gift. So I'll insert some footage of this. You basically just fight enemies in Trove in any biome as far as I know, and they'll just end up giving you a random present. As far as I know, you can only get like three of these per day. You might still see the presents appear for a split second before they disappear afterwards. But you're only going to be able to get the items out of a bunch of them, and then any further than that is just a visual glitch. So next it wants you to complete present dungeons, which are just going to end up being dungeons in any Uber world, any difficulty, whatever. You just gotta get lucky enough to find these bad boys. It's quite literally just a present. It's not really anything super stupendous or crazy. Let me see if I can find one for you guys. So there's a complete dungeon over here. So I assume, yeah, there we go. That's already the present dungeon. So it's literally just a present. If you end up going to the top and then going all the way down, and then it's just, I don't know, or you could just blast your way straight down into the bottom, whatever. You got to complete 5 of those bad boys, and then that'll end up completing that part of the quest line. And then it wants you to clear tree dungeons. Now, a lot of you guys were very opinionated on which biome was the best for this. I heard desert, I heard Fae, I heard Forbidden Spires, I heard Treasure Isles. In Uber worlds, not like Prime Uber worlds, not Elemental worlds. In my experience, out of trying all of those, I didn't try them for a substantial amount of time because the quest was done and over with so quickly. But it seemed pretty random to me. Like, it seems like it doesn't really matter which biome it is. You just got to get lucky enough to actually have the Christmas tree dungeon spawn, which is going to end up being a 3-star dungeon. So actually there's one right there. I'm not necessarily saying that any of you guys on the stream were wrong. It's just that I don't know who was right. That's all there is to it. While you're completing these, there is going to end up being 3 different bosses you can kill, but the only one that technically counts for the dungeon completion is the one up here. But as you saw, there's a new chest enemy that can spawn sometimes, and you will, if you haven't done a Snowfest event before, you will want to kill everything because these tree dungeons have a chance of dropping some mounts and stuff like that are Snowfest related, which I'll show you guys all the new stuff out of the event, or at least most of them. There's not much new things. Anyways, complete 3 tree dungeons. Then it wants you to complete 5 Snowfest dailies, which these are going to end up being located back in the hub area again from these. See all the presents show up for a split second, then disappear. So that's going to be all these characters right here. So this guy wants you to make donations. This one wants you to do more tree dungeons. This one wants you to do earn dragon coins, which you can just get dragon coins out of the shop, or you could do a dragon challenge or just open some dragon boxes, whatever. And then this guy wants you to complete present dungeons, and this guy wants you to do a snowball fight, which is just Bomber Royale. Now, the funny thing is, one of you guys was actually telling me, if you take this portal, or even if you just open Bomber Royale naturally, what's supposed to happen is it's actually supposed to warp you into a special mode that is a snowball fight, but it's broken, and it's been broken for years, wherein you try to enter, it basically crashes that world, and then it spits you back into Bomber Royale. So just another thing that the devs must have completely forgot about or didn't realize was broken this whole time. Because I swear to God, I played a snowball mini game like years ago, and I thought I was imagining it, but it just is because these have been broken ever since. Anyways, you complete 5 of the dailies, and then it wants you to craft saged snowballs. So that's going to be right here. You can either do it for Glim, or you can do it for the Warm Fuzzy. Doesn't really matter too much. You might want to keep your Warm Fuzzy just because it's an item that you'll need for another part of the event. It says craft 5 of them. That doesn't count towards this. Like, it doesn't mean 5 total. It means 5 independent. So you will spend 1,000 or 5,000 Glim on that. And then that part of the quest, instead of giving you a Snowfest token, will actually end up giving you a snowball. Then it wants you to use the saged snowballs. So if we end up going into permafrost, excuse me, there's going to end up being this new enemy that is a horned Hrumpus or something. I don't know the obsession with the whole Hrumpus thing. It's like some, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But either way, there's going to end up being these special enemies that you got to find, if I can get lucky enough to show you guys here, that you essentially have to throw the snowballs at. There's one right there. You got to throw a snowball at this enemy in order to make it vulnerable, and then you kill it. Like, shoot it after you hit it with a snowball. It's going to transform it into a different enemy. Either way, it wants you to use the snowballs. It wants you to use the snowballs. That'll complete the part of the event by just throwing one on the ground. But then the next part is to save the horned Hrumpus. And that's the one that I just mentioned, where you have to save 5 of them, basically throw a snowball at them and then kill them. Sorry that I read that kind of out of sequence. And then it wants you to use a Warm Fuzzy, which is going to end up being an item you'll get out of the Hrumpus. You can actually get these, as you saw, off of them without even throwing a snowball at them, and then you just consume one, and that'll complete that part of the quest. Then it wants you to make a donation at the donation station again, so make sure that you didn't spend all of your event tokens donating for the daily quest, because you're gonna have to do this again for the final part of the quest. But it doesn't matter too much, because you can actually make donations with all sorts of other items, right? So it's worth it's worth spending these items for the donations, because it is going to end up giving you giving you a chance of getting some boxes and blah blah blah. Like, each donation comes with a Snowfest 2022 Corgi surprise and a chance of getting the 2023 box, whereas these tokens give you a 2023 box. Anyways, you do the donation, you get our token, and then lastly, you got to open the leaderboards, because they've actually got a new special event daily, where as you end up completing the various parts of the event that we saw previously, whether it be present dungeons, tree dungeons, saving the Hrumpus, and all that stuff, all of those are going to end up going towards your total score. And the higher your score, you'll be able to get all of these various items by being at a specific ranking. Yeah, so you can see I'm in the 800 rank, which means the only thing I'm getting is the Snowfest box, which honestly is the only thing that you actually want out of all of this. This is just a special trophy, big deal. The effigy would end up being really nice as well, but then there's another trophy, which doesn't really matter. Anyways, that is the last part of the quest, is to just open the leaderboard. Now, from this point on, you're going to use all of your tokens on the donation station so that you can get the snow boxes, which, as I mentioned earlier, these boxes are something you do not want to miss. Now, you could take the risk of spending a bunch of normal resources for a chance of getting these boxes, which is still worthwhile depending on the resource that you want to spend. But at the very minimum, log in every day and complete all of the dailies. Because, as I'll insert some footage for you guys, these boxes are well worth the asking price. The effort that goes into actually earning these is very, very much worth it, because the amount of items that you can get out of them are very good. Like, not only the amount of items, but the quality of the items. You'll get like dragon coins, you'll get all sorts of crazy things, right? Now, there is a couple new items that ended up coming with the event, which is going to end up being a couple mounts. I think there's an ally. I don't have the ally at the moment, but I'll check and see if the price is low enough. I could buy it just to show you guys. But frankly speaking, allies aren't that big of a deal. I do have the mounts though, because through the 2023 event boxes, you essentially you have a chance of getting an effigy, which, similarly to a dragon effigy or a Luxian equipment style stash, it will end up giving you stuff out of the event that you don't already own. So you will actually get a lot of older items if you haven't gotten most of them, or like me, because you've already got most everything, you'll end up getting new stuff. So if I swap over to Tomb Raiser, you can see there's this hat style, which is like a Christmas ornament. Okay, whatever. I think I just found that off of a random enemy. And then there's gonna be a bunch of other things. Like I found this Corgi 3 head, and apparently that's just a prop item, so it's not that big of a deal. But there is going to end up being a couple mounts. There's this one right here, which is rolling through all 12 days of Snowfest. This one's very, very big. It's a gigantic Christmas car. A Christmas tree rolled on its side that can like stab into enemies and damage them. Not really, but it still is absolutely hilarious. I really like this mount, and I mean, it's really, really big too. But anyways, then there's also going to end up being the Jingle Jammin. This one's not nearly as big of a deal. It is a mount, despite the fact that it looks like it's a Mag Rider. Frog, can you give me some space, bro? I don't think, oh, it does actually count as a Mag Rider. Okay, so maybe it would actually have some songs that it would play if we were on a Mag track or something like that. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. But then there's also going to end up being this bad boy right here, which this is so stupid. So we talked about this before because it was in the game's code for weeks. This is a new legendary tome, not a common tome, which means that you can only complete this tome once per week. And when it's fully charged, you'll get 3 Mario and Luigi Mario, 3 Diamond Dragonite. That's it. Nothing else, just 3 Diamond Dragonite. Probably the most useless legendary tome in the entire game. Once again, another, like, I gotta give a golf clap to the devs, because this is tone deaf. This shows a complete disconnect from the developers and what they think the value of items are, because they don't play this game and they don't listen to feedback, which is very unfortunate. And I wish that they would get off their butts and have somebody like actually play the game or whatever. I mean, I guess they're not getting paid to, they're just being paid to develop it. I don't mean to hit them so harshly with it, but it's just disappointing when you see stuff like this, because 3 Diamond Dragonite's not worthwhile. It should give like, I don't know, 20 or something in a week. Like, there's already like 500 different things that are time gated in this game anyways. Anyway, let me take a quick little gander and see if there is any other event items here. So there's this guy, which I don't think is related on Punkman Catcher. Yeah, I don't think those are related to the event. What about a mount? Was there any event mounts that I was missing? No. So I think that pretty much covers everything in the event, outside of obviously all of the other items that you will be able to get from previous years. I heard from somebody that there was an ally, but I don't see it. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want, support the channel. Oh, hi, Mark, and have a wonderful day, everybody.